I know the long road's gonna pay off.
Do you believe you can make it, or is it make believe? They believe in faking it to make it. I'm in a big league, we big players. I got my own team, we pick shooters and change players. On my team, no yes men, no naysayers. If you're trying, I'm trying. If I'm blind, then I'm definitely flying. Then I'm definitely flying. What do you want me to see? Me and the man in the mirror, all I can be. Say that they love me, when it gets rough they flee. If you're trying, I'm trying. If I'm blind, then I'm definitely flying. Then I'm definitely flying. Then I'm definitely flying. Then I'm definitely flying. We have to get richer, you guys trust me.
through something that should have ended you, and it did not end you. It changed you, because that is what hard things do. They do not destroy people who keep moving. They refine them. So when the change you are trying to make gets hard, which it will, and when it gets painful, which it will, and when you hit the wall and stand there not knowing if you can keep going, that is not a sign that you are failing. That is a sign that you are in the middle of it. That is the part everyone talks about when they tell their story of how they got to the other side. That wall you are hitting right now is the exact same wall that every person who ever made it had to get through. The only difference between the people who made it and the people who did not is that the ones who made it did not stop at the wall. They went through it. Choose your hard. It is hard to be broke. It is hard to be out of shape. It is hard to be in a job you hate. It is hard to live a life that feels smaller than what you know you are capable of. That is all hard too. So, you are already choosing hard every single day. The only question is whether the hard you are choosing is building something or keeping you stuck. Whether the pain you are feeling is the pain of growth or the pain of standing still. Because they are both painful, but only one of them gets you somewhere. And to the person who has tried before and got hurt, the person who made the change once, or tried to, and then something happened. Life got in the way. They got knocked back down. And now the idea of trying again feels worse than the idea of never having tried at all. Because at least if you never try, you can hold on to the possibility. What happened to you was not the end of the story. It was a chapter. A hard chapter. A painful chapter. A chapter that tested whether you actually wanted this or just liked the idea of it. But it was not the end. The end is written by what you do next. Not by what happened to you. By what you do with what happened to you. The people who truly make it are not the ones who avoided failure. They are the ones who failed and showed up the next day anyway. They are the ones who got knocked down and decided the ground was not where they belonged. They got back up, not because they were not hurt, but because staying down was not an option they were willing to take. A lot of people hear the message, feel the fire, get up and say, I am going to change my life, and they mean it. In that moment, they fully mean it. But what they do not do is get specific. They do not sit down and identify the actual, concrete, specific thing that needs to change. And without that, the fire burns out in 3 days and they are right back where they started wondering why motivation never sticks. Nothing is going to change until you change something specific. Not your mindset in a vague general sense. Something specific. What time do you wake up in the morning? Because if you are waking up at 9 and your goals need someone who is up at 6, that is a specific change. What are you eating every day? Because if you want a body that performs, that starts with a specific change on your plate.
All right. What's up, y'all? How's it going? All right. Well, big ups to everyone here that are making specific changes in their lives. Right now, the number one thing we need to change is these trading accounts. So let's get into the markets. Let's dive in here. All right, appreciate y'all the patience. A little mix of music, some personal development, you know. Yeah, I see everybody in here. The consistent ones. What's up, Caius, Maury, Nick? We got Luis in here, Brandon, Harshi, Brian, Lonzo, Corey, Seth. Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Appreciate you. So, yeah, welcome in, guys. Let's get into it. We have New York open in less than 4 minutes. First and foremost, I see some clear setups for shorts with basically around these London highs. So I see that here pretty obvious across the board. I'm liking NQ sells from up here right now. So let me just go ahead and move this over there. What's up? So we have a nice little play right there. See the market kick things off right over here. I'm sure you guys can notice this is the exact moment where money comes in to liquidate not only Tokyo highs but New York highs, trading into this imbalance. This is followed by a nice, relaxed downtrend during London session. And then now we've broken New York lows, and we've started to just trade down here for the last hour or so, kind of back and forth, but it doesn't look like it's just a quick liquidation. So I do like shorts out of this zone here. And it, to me, looks like at least it's dropping a bit more aggressively than Dow specifically, because we haven't seen Dow Jones take out this low yet. We haven't seen Dow play out of break below the zone. Dow respected this area that we had marked up yesterday pretty well. I wasn't looking to buy here since NQ is holding, it's just trading way higher in the structure. But yeah, I think New York lows will be swept here for Dow at some point. I'm not sure when, but you have similar setup, right? The sweep of Tokyo highs, except that Dow doesn't take out New York highs. So we'll keep an eye out on this kind of movement, but this is the one that, at least for now, looks like it's kind of leading the way. It's pretty bearish. What's up, Steph? What's up, Greg? We got, what is that? What is this little character? What are you dropping in the chat? We're gonna have an amazing Friday. Had a meet, dude. I feel like I just finished a track meet, man. A little 6K to start the day. Come on. And then so we'll see, because we also so we have two zones. We have NQ at the moment starting to work its way lower, faster. So we'll see what happens to see if we pull back to here, and then what structure looks like, because we also have this higher time frame buy. Remember earlier in the week we end up breaking above several highs and trading above here as well. So the buys down here, these could be really, really solid, especially considering the fact that Dow has already traded into this zone. So Lonzo here mentioned something. He's like, would S&P then be the most? Would S&P be the better buy? And I think you're right. So let's look at every opportunity, right? Just real quick, just check this out. Where was this last sell-off from with S&P? So we at least have a good idea of where we could look for some buys. And I mean, things start to drop from like right around here. So if we look at it from this point of view, here's where the market starts to sell off. Right there, I think we could see something nice in here. Okay. Got something over here. And then some of you, I haven't looked into this. You guys are saying what my thoughts are on the PCE. This could also be a play. Yeah, I could see this. So we had news earlier, and then right here's where things start to melt off. So here's where you can see a potential sell-off off this news event from an hour ago. Let's see. Don't you like shorts out of the 8:30 openings? On lower time frames, they sure look like sweeps. Don't you like shorts out of the 8:30 opening? Are you guys talking about the same thing or no? 8:30 opening. Like yesterday's? Yesterday's open. Okay. Got it. 8:30 Eastern, I'm assuming. Time zones, guys. We are not all in the same time zone. Gotta remember that one. Okay, so it could be NQ. It could be Dow, because Dow takes these highs out as well for PCE. So what's it gonna be? It could even be S&P. This is kind of all over the place. Let me do this. I'm gonna have to go little triple over here. And get a good look at this. So we have this over here, and we have this over here. All right, so watch how the market is currently trading. So this is the initial zone, and here is current price action. So if we're looking at the range from PCE now, and Q is starting to pump up very much quickly here. And PCE highs are right here. So look at how NQ is already at its over a 618 pullback. S&P is right around a 50% pullback. And then Dow is holding up much better now. So Dow takes out the highs just a bit and then drops. So I would be pretty much chilling. I would not sell NASDAQ. That's my take. Obviously, y'all can do whatever you want. That's just me. I'm going to avoid selling NQ. It looks like Dow Jones has a much better... It's like suppressed. The bears are in here. So I prefer this over here for sure. Here was where we sold off for that moment. So I'm chilling. And then I'm also going to be pretty quick to... If we do happen to get over here, I think I'll move my stops pretty quickly because I still am open to shorting near like where London highs kind of started to form over here as well. So we kind of have both ideas here. Yeah, but for now, we'll focus on this one, and then we can see where we get to. But yeah, there's a pretty big difference. Like NQ's about a 71% pullback, whereas Dow's chilling way, way, way down here. What do you guys think? Let me know. If we show demand mitigating the open, could be nice on NAS. Right here. Okay, so look at how NQ now is sitting on, got a frog in my throat, right? Is in the zone. No estoy vendiendo NASDAQ. I'm staying out of this guy. So originally, that's the thought. However, the divergence shows me otherwise, other evidence. So, yeah, I'm cool with shorting. Dow instead. So I'll set up a trade over here. I'm good with like a trade right in the zone between that 786 and that 886. See where we get to. Ride this thing down. Keep going with momentum. For now, I'll kind of set it just into like the New York Open area. Okay. Looking at everything here. Okay. Should be good to go. Just double checking mines. If you guys have trade copiers, I would recommend just making sure everything's set in stone. Everything's looking smooth. Log into your accounts. Make sure it's all good. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Gotta just check and make sure one thing. I don't remember which account I had logged in. All right, perfect. All right, cool. So look, avoided this NQ trading out of here. So that's a loss avoided, which is always great. I consider that a win. Like the better you get at qualifying these ideas, the more money you save. So being able to stop yourself from an impulsive decision, or not even impulsive, but one like you maybe originally had like a thought for something, but then you pulled yourself away from it because you decided to follow your technicals, right? Your confirmations, what gives you a green light to, okay, it's time to use this in the playbook or it's not. So oftentimes we'll see exactly, like we know what we should do, but we won't do it because we preferred the original outcome. So like being in the market is a lot of times something we like any excuse to be in the market because it's like opportunity. It's opportunity to make money. It's opportunity to see some profits. So yeah, a lot of times we'll not, get out of the trade or delete a trade because we just kind of want to be in the game. But okay. Out of curiosity, did you guys end up deleting it? Did you stay out? What'd you guys do? Mitigating PCE on gold could be an option as well. We'll go take a look at it right now. We're pretty close over here for Dow, so I don't want to deviate too much. So let me set up this limit order. Stayed out. Nice. Cool. And with the way that we're like, Dow is chilling over here. It's big chilling. So I like the short. I'm going to zoom out real quick. I want to show you guys something. But I don't think we need the 3 charts anymore. So we traded right down to, or we broke below Tuesday's low. So zooming out a bit further with Dow over here and kind of to see where we're at. To end the week, I feel like I wouldn't be shocked if we worked our way down to this lower level. So this is the 1 hour low. So we've been doing a pretty good job of trading within this range. Technically we're bullish, but on the 1 hour, however, we've just been in a retracement. So there's a chance we might end up creating the weekly low to end towards the end of the day, and then maybe eat this up and come back in. So Dow getting down to this level and maybe NQ getting to that zone, that might be something we see today or tomorrow. So I want to see more and more of how price action keeps unfolding. So, but I am open. I'm open to letting a trade run today. Just looking at Dow and how well it's holding structure over here. Today might be a day where just let this thing go. So we'll see kind of where we're at. Could be a very, very, very good trading day. And this would be taking things down all the way to here. Huge trade, 11R. With that being said, with these kind of intentions, the entry doesn't even need to be this. We could go even lower. So I think I am going to drop this a little bit, 1 notch down, just to like make sure we're getting in there. Nuke to 4R shakeout on oil. Sick. Dude, hell yeah. All right, so in the meantime, while Dow is it's still pushing, but so let's see if we get that. But anyways, let's go look at some metals. Let's look at some oil. What did someone mention here with gold? Gold mitigating PCE on open. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit, kind of gauge where we're at. we had a sell here, right? So we had a sell that we were talking about for NQ. What's our NQ going to? Oh, NQ still pushing higher. Wow. So NQ is up in this zone. Way up here. In the meantime, S&P is ripping and Dow is still chilling. Okay. So yes, I'm still not selling NASDAQ. Not for me. No, sir. Gonna let this be the bull. That's okay. But this is showing us, like actually Caius mentioned, this actually kind of gave us a nice little sell-off before a rally. So we might have something here later. Maybe. We'll stay put. Yeah, NQ taking out London highs and then YM getting into a zone of interest would be beautiful. That would be fantastic. So we'll say here, right? NQ. So let's see, NQ London sweep. That'd be nice. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I have time to look at gold. So we were looking for shorts here. I talked about this yesterday and earlier, but we finally got here. But this happened during London session. If you were trading London, then you had time to get into profit. The market took you to a 1.69 RR. Plenty of time to reduce your stop, actually to go break even. If you're managing this, I don't really take trades that I can't manage. So this is good. This is good. I mean, I wouldn't have hit take profit. I would have targeted lower anyways. So cool. Now it's just this trade is over. It's just pretty simple here. Pretty straightforward. It's been filled. And now we move on. Now, as was mentioned with gold, gold's price action has been pretty chill. So just healthy retracements during this time. Pullbacks. You have a couple curious ideas, and we'll look at silver, but gold actually pushes down, takes out this low. So Tokyo low actually sweeps a decent amount of liquidity here, of more Asian liquidity and into New York session before rallying. So I kind of like the buy over here. So I could see a buy here. And then from here, we see things chop up. And then there's that pretty healthy price action. And I believe this is what some of you are looking at. So you see a little dip right there. This is that PCE drop. So that news event that we had takes just a little dunk over here. Some cute little drop. Takes a little bit of liquidity. Get a continuation. So, I mean, a little 1 minute play. With gold, honestly, gold plays out small time frames pretty well. You just have to really consider, I mean, yeah, I think this is okay. We've been trading up here for a bit, so could see a bounce out of this for sure. And then you just want to also keep in mind silver. So like how silver moving. Silver also had that nice PCE drop. So it takes out about an hour's worth of liquidity here. So this is micro silver. Let me just double check. Yeah, it all looks good. So yeah, I see it. You're trading pretty high up in the range, but nonetheless, like, this is valid. The difference really is that with New York Open, it kind of squeezed around here, rebalanced nicely, and then rallied, whereas gold just kept making highs. So I do prefer gold at the moment. It looks cleaner. So if we're looking for something here, I would be trading this like around here. All right, hold on, guys. Yeah, so like right around this order block, like I kind of like this idea. And then the thing is like, well, what kind of risk reward can you use for something like this? Like, where are you taking this to? So if you're zooming out, what's your target? What's your risk reward? 2R, is it conservative? Are you targeting specific areas of liquidity? What's the motive? So like this high just got taken out from, this is like the high of, is this the high of the week? Yeah, so the high of the week just got taken out. If we don't really get a good structure over here, then I don't know if we're going to really, if this buy is even worth it really. Otherwise, if we do maintain it, then we can just kind of keep trading a little bit higher. Silver is filling in balance over here as well. So it seems like we could be getting to a cool down period with gold as well, like the bulls are starting to lose some momentum. So I'm going to keep this in mind. I'm not set on this trade yet, but I do see the potential. Yesterday we had buy orders that we were looking at. This ends up playing out super nice. Would have caught the low of yesterday's low after New York Open. So it was really good. Just missed me by a little bit, and then this thing just kept going. So pretty awesome trade nonetheless. So, I mean, obviously we have a system that is super duplicatable, very much gets you into position for great risk reward. Just got to let these setups qualify. All right, let's check in with indices. It looks to me like, man, the bears are just not giving up here. So every time the market wants to push higher, Dow just keeps just eating up those buy orders. And then NQ surprisingly did hold up this zone, and it's mitigating really nicely. So annoying, honestly, because this is exactly the kind of sell we would be in. But since Dow, to me, Dow is showing us a lot of evidence that it could go higher, I preferred to prioritize Dow. And with that being said, even though this right now could be playing out, like let's say this is a trade I would already be break even with stops to entry. That's not to say that it's going to hold anyways. So sometimes you may convince yourself, like you might drive yourself to make bad decisions because of a trade you missed when that trade maybe wouldn't have even gotten you paid anyways. So like I wouldn't be completely surprised if this pulls back again. Okay. Let's see. All right, so that's indices. NQ doing some work right now. Nice drop. If anyone sold that, awesome. I would want to see when there's certain scenarios in which this can work. Like this happens enough where you'll see other zones play out even if they're not lagging. So I'm curious if there's extra signs on when it does and when it doesn't. Because you guys also saw, like with PCE, it totally failed that one. But this one it did respect. So, when and why do things happen the way that they happen? All right, with that being said, let's get into some of the majors, some of these dollar pairs. Australian very, very slowly grinding its way down still. Our setup just continues to patiently wait over here. We've been squeezing the entire week. Like the entire week has just been ranging. So this is consolidation traders, are doing wonders over here. If you're trading just resistance and support, maybe you're doing all right. That's just not how I trade. And knowing in what environments your playbook, your setup models work is really important. And this is why I'm more open to, I like to trade just the market as a whole. Like I trade my setups. I'm not so like loyal to the asset because like if I only traded Australian, dude, I wouldn't have done anything all week. I wouldn't have had a single trade. If I would have only traded NZD, I wouldn't have done anything. If I only traded Euro, I wouldn't have done anything. Maybe the short up here that it just kind of played out of, but for the most part, like CAD wouldn't have done anything here at all. Would have just been chilling. So there is actually a little zone here. I think Vaughn was talking about this one, maybe. This one right there. You kind of see a nice upswing in volume right here. Takes out some liquidity and then sells off. So I do like this. Vaughn, let me know. I think you're on right now, but let me know if this is what you were looking at. Something like that. Out of this range. I believe so. So I got two zones over here. Yeah, I got these two areas. All right, let me go into the chat. What up, chat? BTC still bearish. We can take a look at it. Peso's good. All right, cool. Let's go check it out. Peso. But anyways, right now, like, just think about, like, for me, it makes more sense. Like, I have more opportunity. I have the time to, and then we take advantage of our time. What could give a trade is 6S, maybe big spikes that we just saw with PCE right here. Big spikes, but we would need to see the lows like actually confirm structure. This is really weak. It's not valid anymore? Okay. And I know some of you are trading CFDs and some of you are trading something else. So peso mitigated. What was the trade? Where? All right, hold on. Let me zoom out a little bit. So we had a push up here, the drop. This just did the bare minimum. So this was over here. So we already had that reject this zone. And then we traded down to basically create tons of liquidity over here. So we had you have a lot of retail buyers over here. Market's working its way. So this did create a pretty good structure down here. So you had higher highs, higher lows. And then, well, really these are the lows. Breaks below here. Sells are okay. I think if you're looking for maybe shorts, could be in here. You have the last move up here. This is yesterday during New York session. Clear the highs. Market drops in, creates order blocks, and then just keeps trading down. What's up, Steph? Gotta go, but I'm taking the nugget of trading the setup and not the asset. I love it. Michigan consumer in 5. Thanks for the heads up. Look at the 15. Just draw the zone lower. Yeah, so this came up, dropped. So you're right. It was very efficient for sure. So it did mitigate here. You got that. And then you see the market, kick things up a notch right here. Clears it again. So there's a lot of money comes in right here. Let's check the volume. Yeah, look at that. Volume spikes again. And then we start to work our way down. So shorts out of here, not bad. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite setup. It doesn't take out a ton of liquidity, but it's definitely a huge order before things start to sell off. And it would be coming around the same time. So, yeah, Mexican peso shorts are not bad. I'm with this. I think I'm going to take a 3/4 risk on this. Just to let you guys know, this will take up some margin, right? So typically this trade, and this is right in these order blocks, but yeah, typically these trades, they take up a lot of margin. So like if you want to trade something else and you're in this, you might be pretty limited. So just an FYI. Okay, cool. My orders are over here on the left just to keep things clean. So if you guys are ever looking for the trade, that's where it is. And then this just copies over to other trades, other accounts. Okay. Meanwhile, we are getting closer to our Dow Jones trade as well. So let's go take a look at that actually. Because we're 2 minutes away from a minute away from news. So we have Dow over here, finally climbing its way up. And Q has the momentum has kind of shifted. So NQ is squeezing. S&P is also, but Dow has been moving upwards now. So what I'm going to do is this. With price action, with Dow now leading the move higher, I'm going to actually, I'm going to take this with less risk. So I'm going to actually go half risk here. Or I'm going to do like 300 on this one. Because now I'm starting to notice Dow like really rip aggressively while, I guess now in Q, everything's kind of moving up together. So I want to see if we get mitigated in here, if Michigan's just going to blast it through and wanting to trade even higher up into this range or not. And so I just got tagged in. And then let's see if we're going to get a decent drop or not. So I would need to see a 50-point drop. So I would need to see the market drop down to like here. So I just got filled in. And then, yeah, getting a drop to like right around here would work. Otherwise, get stopped out, take a small loss, and it is what it is. So now we've traded a lot higher. So we'd be trading like down to here. Something like this would basically be mitigation. All right, let's see. Back and forth. Late ass alert. All right. Holding up. All right, so we got, whoa. Yo. Oh my God. This thing went crazy. All right, so NQ swept. As everything just obliterated it. So, okay, perfect. Let's zoom out a little bit. Took the small loss there. It said, yeah, we don't really care about all that. And we're ripping now. So we're trading. S&P is trading towards a high that I had set up before. This was Wednesday's high. However, I mean, like everything else is lagging behind as well. So I'm not really going to force any trades right now. We're seeing S&P in this potential distribution zone, but like I don't necessarily need to be in this trade. And then I think peso just activated, if I'm not mistaken. So 6M, let's see here. Oh, peso did not just activate, it lost. So, yeah, big news. Took a, what was this? Also a reduced loss on this. I didn't even see when it triggered it, so that's actually weird. It didn't give me an alert. But I think that was just the news event. It just pumped through. So that's okay. Yeah, so either the market's going to mitigate up here later, which it looks like that's what it's doing. Like you had this last pump up here before it dropped, and then now we're starting to see the move, which is a little unfortunate. CFD is looking a lot different for sure. So CFD is barely getting into the zone, and it looks like you would be able to actually trade out of here, whereas peso is just took above it and then made a move. I'd say a little unfortunate for us here. Yeah, so I do think this was mitigated. You know, when we dropped down, came back up, just a little. It just didn't have enough of a stop for this. And honestly, yeah, taking a bigger stop would have been nice, but whatever. It is what it is. Then we have S&P really barely by the skin of its teeth held in there. And Q rejecting this as well. So both mitigating this pump. This is what I was arguing, whether this really was equal highs or not. And then we have Dow that just traded into London session highs over here. Thursday's London session highs, not Fridays, and then dropped. So, with all that being said, right, a lot of movement. Obviously, sometimes, you know, I lose all the time. But with that being said, and see, this is why I wasn't looking for this gold buy quite yet. Didn't have enough proof with structure yet, so held off on that. But you know what? Silver is holding in here and going. There's a lot going on right now, guys. So catching everything, multiple opportunities can get a little overwhelming. So, you know, giving yourself the opportunity to just wait, I think goes a long way. Most of the time, I think mistakes come because you feel like you're missing out, or like I could have been in this trade, or I would have, could have, should have, would have, and you have new context, so now you're just like, oh, well, I would have done this if I would have had that, dude. Like just let yourself play out. Also, it doesn't help that these alerts are coming 2 minutes later. Look at this shit. 2 minutes later. What is that? Trash. That's absolute trash. So, on the bright side, let's say you didn't catch the high. Well, it doesn't mean we don't have a trade. So now, the fun can begin. Because now it looks like we're getting potential shakeout setups across the board. Whether it's going to be S&P, Dow Jones, and Q, don't really know yet. So, because we just see the massive liquidations. This is great, right? We see tons of retail sellers just bodied right over here. So we have London highs, New York highs, trading into Thursday's imbalances. So really good. I'm sure some of you maybe were a little less focused on teaching and trading. Some are more focused on trading. So maybe you already had some of these zones. Maybe you had the balls, the conviction to take the short on S&P. Yeah, so for me, the only reason I wasn't sure on selling this quite yet was because I just felt like Dow could have gone higher. So, you know, whatever. I don't really, it doesn't really bother me too much, because if we get another, you know, reversal into here a little bit later, then it ends up being probably just as good of a trade anyways. So what I want to see now, in order to get a good trade, would be for the market to start to stall out. So this is what is forming the shakeout model, and then this would be the market doing one of these, and then coming up here later before we drop again. So this is basically what I'm looking for before making any other decisions. over here. So the good thing is, based on the losses, barely over a 1 hour loss because of the reduced risk trades. So that's pretty nice. And then we'll kind of see which one of this bunch we're going to end up shorting, whether it's going to be Dow, S&P, or NQ. Kind of just going to play it based on how we end up working our way higher. So we can delete this. Well, isn't that hilarious? I'm like, yeah, dude, we get a chance of like catching an 11R short on it. And it's like, yeah, you think so, buddy? Yeah, get clapped, kid. So gotta love the humbling the market does. And here, looking at it now from this perspective, interesting because we actually saw Dow clear the lows, take out liquidity here, lose this low. And this is sometimes when you're too fixed on one angle, but it clears liquidity, comes right back up. We move sideways for 4. And on the 5th minute, we come right back in, respond out of these same level of support here. And then the market just absolutely rips. So somewhere here, someone took a buy on this. And ate. And ate good. They did. So looking at this, the market drops aggressively. All right, we start to work our way down. Break, retest. So these are retests. There's buyers now in the game. Not a ton, but there's some. Just a couple minutes. This is a very quick reversal. I prefer when the market lures in buyers for longer before I go looking for shorts. So this happens a bit too fast for my taste. If we were to come back down and then make one more move up, then I'm open to selling this. All right, how'd it go for y'all? Let's see. Person waiting for higher zone. Love it. Holy cow. Blew it out of the water. Oh, yeah. I lost double the risk. Really? On what accounts? Like your own personal, your own live? On props. Which one? Let's see. I lost. No, I only lost that one. No, I didn't really have a big difference. Interesting. So looking at how quickly this is going up, guys, I'm not going to look to sell this right now. I'm going to stay out. I didn't get enough proof that these highs over here were solely for shorting, or that these highs were unsustainable. The fact that we're coming right back up is showing that there is, in fact, demand at these levels. So there's a small, for me, I don't believe there's enough proof to give me valid shorts. So I think, I'm not going to go and try to sell over and over and over again and hope to God that eventually I'm right. That's not really the game plan here. If anything, we might look to trade even higher into the zone. There's definitely liquidity here that can get swept. So I want just good setups, and this isn't really good enough. So, just not going to bait me into trades as much as as much as I want to make this, make up for some losses. Well, I could do it differently. Okay. Yo, what's up with all my alerts, dude? What the fuck? We nailed it. We nailed the gold buy. This was perfect. Bruh. You know what's worse, though, is the minute that I looked away from gold is when it dropped. Now, this is irritable for me. Because it's like technology isn't technologing. You know what I mean? But... nah, I probably wouldn't have taken it. Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have. If I was going and looking at this, I would have been like, well, silver can drop down to here still. So, yeah, I'll stay out. That's what I would have said. So I can't act like, oh, bro, like I would have made bank. Nah, I probably would have waited. Just being real. So, all right. Lucky. TradingView just got a pass. Sadly, if indices end up selling off, then that's it, guys. I'm just going to, it's not the day for me. But, yeah, when the market drops down and it goes up as quick as it does, these are the ones that typically fail more often in my experience. So I don't like to trade these. I would have traded above this high, but I needed more demand market to show us like, no, we want to trade lower for longer. That's ideally what I wanted. Obviously, the trade's playing out, and Dow is giving us the best example here for sure. So now we saw the market liquidate, drop in. This lures in sellers after it takes out buyers. This also triggers break and retest buyers. So buyers are now in here. Their stops are typically below all of this. So you're now seeing potential buyers in again. So, I mean, still it's break, retest. If we are to build more, let's say, liquidity up here and run up again, I might then pull the trigger on a second push up here. But it would have to form appropriately. Otherwise, if we just keep pushing down, if we take out lows, then, I'm not going to look to do anything else. So we'll see from here. Let me just double check alerts. Make sure that I'm not. So y'all saw it. Here's video evidence that there is an alert right there. Okay. Meanwhile, gold holding up. Gold here possibly, it takes out London lows, doesn't take out, and then we mitigate here. So this could maybe, just maybe, we might be seeing a gold shakeout. If silver is just tanking, then there's a chance. We'll see. You were in that trade for like a second? Not for sure. Cut a buy on Dow. Sick. Nice, man. On my live with Dow. Oh, because of slippage. Was that with A&P? Mine was like 2.5 of my plan risk on Dow with my live. Crazy slippage. It definitely happens. I took it because of the inverted fair value graph created. I'm awesome, bro. Keep it up. There's that same zone on silver. Potential shakeout on gold. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But it looks like gold's trying to crack above this, so we'll kind of see. It might just rip. Yeah, it could just rip through like it's doing right now. For sure. Yeah, good stuff for those of you. If you ended up catching longs on fucking A, dude. Every trade that I haven't taken today. The ones that I've been like, these are the ones. That would be here's a fat sell-off right there. Aches me. Well, all we can do is move on at this point. I have enough data for this one to show me that it just fails enough if it's this quick of a break and retest. So, as salty as I am, it's it's okay. It's gonna be all right. Where it'd be up 2.5 R. Not bad. Is there enough demand for a NAS buy? On the 5-minute, no, definitely not. This just shows that it clearly does not want to trade up here. So there's not a bullish intention in this yet. Not yet. Obviously, things can change. I took the sell line because you said not to. All right. From here, I mean, I totally see it though. Like NQ, clean sweep on New York Open. We rally. Like on the 1 minute time frame, yeah, I mean, for sure, it's created bullish structure. And then from here, it's been trading up here for 30 plus minutes, almost 40 minutes. So I don't think it's a bad trade. Let's just kind of see how we work our way over there. Right now, the break and retest are still pretty strong on NQ. S&P broke this low and is not coming back again. So definitely like some of these buyers maybe get liquidated over here. Major stops are down here for sure. Two shakeout shorts with NQ. Nice. Very nice. I love it. So, I mean, selling indices still could make sense. Because now you've gotten back to back. Like, this is just still built up more and more liquidity. So I think it's a matter of preference on where you want to take this. So selling now or selling above this one last time before it goes. So this is definitely a matter of personal preference. If you are going to take this, I definitely believe that clearing the lows is the ideal move. So whether you're going to trade within the imbalance or you're going to wait for it to go above, it's going to be really up to you. Yeah. So I had a feeling like maybe we get in here, but if we're luring in buyers, then I think the absolute most liquidity would be like you'd have the absolute most buy orders if it clears this one more time and then shorts. So something like this to me would make sense. Yeah. So I'm going to set an alert here. And then I'm going to go, because I think this can run a pretty good amount. So I'll go with something like this. But yeah, look how volatile the market is right now. Like this is 100 points and it looks like nothing. Whereas sometimes, for example, here, right, if you took a buy in here in the where we liquidated, came back in, you have the inversion, and then it rallies. This is tight. This is nothing. This is like 40 points maybe. Less. So yeah, once you have volume kick in and everything kind of changes, the volatility develops. For sure, it's pretty sick. So yeah, like I'm saying, you may or may not either be respecting this imbalance and drop, or it takes out the highs one more time and then you get the drop. So one or the other are gonna play out. And I don't know. I just enjoy not trading at a scarcity, so I'm pretty chill. We have the Asian trading range that's not been swept on Dow from yesterday, just above the top of the Dow spike, so I think I might this out. That's cool. That's cool. And I totally understand that as well. Like, well, you have some of this, I believe is what you're talking about, over there. Yep. So when you start to kind of zoom out a bit more and you get a look at the market from this excuse me, from this lens, there's incentive here for a price to tackle on a little bit higher. That's what you're looking at. S&P is already set in stone. That looks solid to me. S&P looks like it would be fine. and then NQ as well. So I don't know. I feel like I'm okay with the shorts. I'm at peace with losing 200 for 200. No. Hold on. This is under leveraged. Okay. And Q about to take the highs. So Dow's slightly lagging the most between all of them. Yeah, and that's good. Just decision making. You know, it's like, where do you want to take risk? What are you going to be at peace with? And yeah, what can you afford to lose? All right, quick update with metals. Actually, let me set an alert here first. Got to set alerts like earlier so that it tells me, because obviously you can't, with small time frames like this, apparently you can't really count on this too much. Shakeout on gold or silver, still maybe. We'll see. Oil right now, it's kind of choppy. Not my favorite. Bitcoin, indecisive. Good amount of liquidity here. Still have a shorting option up in the 69K area. And then buying option in the 63,600 area. Bitcoin squeezing like this for this long. Breakouts incoming for sure. All right. Dow getting close over here. Very, very close. And Q took out the high. S&P took out, created equal highs. And Dow still slightly below. Now, what would be the icing on the cake today is if this thing just sells off from here and misses me. Y'all are going to see me rage quit the stream if that happens. Just like, we out. What's more annoying to you guys? What's more annoying? Having a trade miss you by like a couple points and play out, or having a trade tag you out by like a point and then play out? What's more frustrating? Or your trade hits, it runs into profit, and it misses your take profit by a point. What's the one that like just triggers you the most? Because it looks like we're about to see this happen, and I'm gonna just lose it. Honestly, I might just pull the trigger earlier on this one. I might throw like 3 contracts in early, and then if it comes up, I'll let another 3 roll. Oh, not 33 contracts. That would be a bad idea. All right, I'm going to take a little guy right there. And then you, my friend, will be less. All I had to do was wait an extra minute, apparently. And I would have just gotten my trade. But no, I had to be impatient. For me, honestly, it was just securing it, because RR-wise, like, I was still okay with it. Because I do think we can get a pretty big drop out of here. So even if I'm, subtly, slightly in there, and even then, like, you could just kind of add up towards here. So if I want to add another contract or something. But okay, bullish. I mean, yeah, bullish day so far with indices. I wonder where that puts the stocks at here for the day. Big winners so far for the day. Celsius up about 9% on the day. So really big move. Good jumps. We have Etsy continuing to rally a bit more. Nike picking things up. Nice. A little bit of Lulu. I don't know if y'all have been still in Lulu. Still holding some. Still holding, well, exactly what I've had this whole time. It's okay. ENPH, another 5% day. SEDG. So solar picking up. Solar's definitely picking up. Coinbase up 4% today. Some good winners today. Oh my God, I'm so happy I took profit on Snapchat. Jesus Christ. Honestly, probably a good play. All right, so Dow looks like at least for now, looks like the decision to get in a little early has paid off. Or is paying off. And once S&P took out this little mini liquidity that we had here, that was kind of like the motive. Like, okay, we should be good. Like I felt like, okay, I think I can take the entry now. Because now we're still seeing like lower lows and lower highs on Dow, while these were pushing a little bit higher. So now the entry really is more like, oh my bad, this is what I'm looking at here. It's like this. And then you just taking these lows is 2.5, but I think we go lower. So I think we push this well past that. So yeah, I mean, guys, I think let this thing go. If we break below this again, I think I'm going to start just reducing my risk as we start moving downwards. And then I'm open to just adding more to my entry if we get some pullbacks here. Because now that we have just more evidence on bearish structure, like I'm cool with getting tagged back in and then just having a bit more risk on the table. That's about it, yo. That's really about it. Yeah. All right. Last thing I want to add to you guys before we go, if you didn't notice or if you didn't see the post, but I know obviously a lot of you guys are getting, evals and you're getting funded, going through the process, but Lucid Trading has they're doing 50% off every evaluation. So definitely check that out. Definitely check that out, guys. 50% off is solid. You can get max too. But 50% is 50%. So it's pretty solid. In here, I have basically the pro. If you want a easier route to getting funded, or like let's say if you're a high risk trader, then go with this route, the pro. If you want to not have a consistency rule, which basically means you don't need to like limit your trading day or anything. Like you can just, if you have one big day, like totally fine. Doesn't make a difference. Then the flex is the one. And then you also can kind of just take your payout whenever. But yeah, so check those out. You can get max too. I've used them and they're awesome. They also pay out super fast, like basically just as fast, if not faster than Tradefy does. So pretty good stuff. Honestly, I like my experience with them. And then outside of that, guys, this may not pertain to the ones to most of you since you're on the live stream and you're probably already a little further on with your trading. But if you are a beginner here and you're someone that has been maybe kind of just stuck and not really making any progress, not on the advanced side, but like from a very, very beginner standpoint, then we are going to be having a 30-day program, just kind of a one-time thing for you guys. We've had a lot of demand from people that are really new or have kind of just not been able to get out of the newbie phase. So be on the lookout for that. We'll shoot out an email to you guys. And, but yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, guys, amazing week so far. Just in general, process-based. I've seen a lot of you guys just have a really good attitude towards with trades that do play out, don't play out, everything in between. I'm seeing you guys progress so much, so it's awesome to see the different wins from people within the syndicate, outside of the syndicate. We just want to see you guys win. Like, it's the best feeling in the world. So stay at it, right? Stay disciplined. Keep investing in yourselves, whether it's in your investments, your cash flow for investing in your own personal accounts, more prop firms, education, whatever it is, guys. Just keep working at it. Keep staying consistent. It's building up. Trust me. Sometimes you won't see it on the surface, but it's happening beneath, right? And so just remember the story of the bamboo tree. Remember the story of the bamboo tree, right? You might just be building foundation that's underground. It's you can't even see it, but it's just creating stronger and stronger roots so that when it's time, you will absolutely fly. All right, guys. So if you want to fly together, as always, we invite you to join our syndicate program, work with us for the next year, and just take everything to an absolutely new level. So appreciate y'all. If you did take this trade with me, then you're probably feeling a little pretty good. What you guys saw, what you witnessed was adapting to the market environment, adapting to the new information the market was showing us, and understanding what the risk reward would be. So would it still be value? Would it still be worth it to take this trade despite not getting the sniper entry that I originally wanted? And luckily, since I did get in, I didn't blow a fuse and just chuck this monitor here out this window, because you guys would have seen it on camera. And then I would have gone to jail because endangering people down there and all that. And, we just don't want to do any of that. So, we got in there. We'll see what happens from here. But, yeah, so appreciate you guys for being part of the stream, liking it, subscribing, sharing it with your homies. The community as well, you can always share that to anybody. And make sure that you're on the channel on Monday, because I am going to be giving away an account to one of you on Monday. So take care, y'all. Peace.
What time do you wake up in the morning? Because if you are waking up at 9 and your goals need someone who is up at 6, that is a specific change. What are you eating every day? Because if you want a body that performs, that starts with a specific change on your plate. What are you doing with the first 2 hours of your day? Because if those hours are going to scrolling and reacting and consuming other people's content, that is a specific pattern that needs to change. What are you spending your evenings doing? Because that is your extra time. That is the time that separates the people who get ahead from the people who stay behind. And if that time is disappearing into a screen every single night, that is a specific problem that needs a specific solution. You do not have to change everything at once. That is not how it works. That is actually one of the reasons people fail. They try to change everything at the same moment, and 2 weeks later they have changed nothing because they were overwhelmed. You change one thing. You change one thing, and you do it consistently until it becomes who you are. Then you change something else. One day in the gym is nothing. You will not feel it. You will not see it. But 100 days in the gym, you are almost a different person. The compound effect of small, consistent, specific changes is the most powerful force in human development. It is just invisible for a while. And most people quit before the invisible becomes visible. The work that nobody sees is the work that matters most. It is the 5 a.m. session when no one is watching. It It is the extra hour you put in after everyone else went home. It is the meal you prepared instead of ordering junk. It is the chapter you read when you could have watched something. It is the hard conversation you had with yourself at midnight when you looked in the mirror and told yourself the truth. Nobody is going to applaud that work. Nobody is going to see it, but it is building you. Every single rep of it is building you into someone different than you were yesterday. And that is the only scoreboard that matters. The standards you hold when no one is watching are your real standards, not the ones you perform when people are looking, not the version of yourself you show when there are consequences. The version of you that exists at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday when nobody cares what you do and you can do anything you want. That version of you is your true character. And if that version of you is choosing the easy thing every single time, you are programming yourself for a soft life. And a soft life sounds great until you realize that a soft life produces a soft person. And a soft person gets crushed the first time life gets heavy. Change something specific today, not tomorrow, today. Change the time you wake up. Change what you do in the first hour. Change one meal. Change 1 hour of your evening. Start small, but start. Because the person you want to become is not waiting for you at the end of a motivational speech. That person is waiting for you on the other side of one specific change you keep putting off. And when you make that change, protect it. That is the part nobody talks about. You make the change, you feel good about it for 2 or 3 days, and then life comes at you. Something stressful happens. You have a bad week. You miss a day. And most people use that one missed day as a reason to quit entirely. They say, well, I already broke the streak, so what is the point? And just like that, the change is gone, and they are back where they started. Do not do that. One missed day is not a failed change. One missed day is just a missed day. You wake up the next morning and you go again. You do not punish yourself for being human. You do not use one setback as an exit ramp. You close the gap and keep moving. The people who actually change are not the ones who are perfect. They are the ones who keep coming back. They miss a day and they come back. They have a hard week and they come back. They fail and they come back. Coming back is the whole skill. Coming back is the entire game. And every time you come back, you are proving something.